Good morning. Happy June, everyone. Welcome to Brunch and BS. I am Jen.Cohen, your host, and I am so pleased that you are here today. We had people coming in way early today. I was running way late because, at the last minute, my computer decided that it needed to be rebooted, and holy cow. So, welcome, tribe. I am so glad that you are here today. I am so excited to be with you today, and I've got some new stuff for you today. So, anyway, let's go ahead. Let's hop over to the comments because, like I said, there were people here early. So, first one in 81 minutes early. Holy cow, Scott. That's I was I was totally not prepared at 81 minutes before. So glad you were here. You were definitely the first one. And thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. Denise with Bone Tired Traveler, how are you, sweetie? Heart 63 minutes early. Holy cow. Y'all are killing me. This is so funny. And Ross, Mr. Orange Cone Vlog saying, sup all. I actually got the privilege of having dinner with Mr. Orange Cone Vlog and the lovely Donna. Last night, Chef Todd and I went out for dinner with them and had some very yummy barbecue, and it was a great time. So thank you again for a great recommendation on the restaurant. And Ross has a new hashtag idea that I love. Hashtag purple. That is, you had me before you even explained it. The response being purple because sometimes red and blue just can't keep their hands off each other. Or purple because blue and red had a passionate night and forgot protection. I like them both. I am definitely going to tweak Nightbot because purple is an awesome hashtag to have on my channel. I absolutely love that idea. And Mr. Eddie Lugo coming in, Brooklyn. Yo, yo, yo. Good morning. How are you, sir? Great to have you here. And Ron, 33 seconds early. And then I was like 30 seconds late. So you really weren't. You really weren't. Nobody was early today. Too funny. You guys are hilarious. So awesome to have you here, Ron and Eddie. Scott, thank you so much. Everybody shouting out. And Aaron Smith, double A. Ron, how are you? Happy Sunday, Brunch Tribe. And everybody is shouting out and saying hello to each other. And Ross is, of course, going with our favorite hashtag that is taking a while to kick in, but it is moisture is the essence of wetness, and wetness is the essence of beauty. So that is awesome. Thank you so much for being here and for shouting out to each other. Happy Sunday to you, Zach, from the Coker Culture. Thanks for coming in. So great that you are here. Webster, which is still slaying me. I got you all beat 13 hours and live. Oh my goodness. You were ridiculous early. So purple will be the new moist. Is that like orange is the new black? Is that purple is the new moist? Awesome. And Ross, thank you so much for reminding people hashtag coffee, because you can order your favorite coffee and tea online. If you're already an online orderer for coffee and tea, the way that I am, I'm pretty much an online shopper for everything that I get. So if you already want your coffee online and you use pods, you use ground already for you, or you use whole beans that you grind yourself, whatever format of coffee you prefer, you can get it through the link that Nightbot has dropped here for Giving Bean. And the beauty part about this is it's a charity fundraiser that runs all year long. So all year long, whenever you need your coffee, you click that link, you go, you order your coffee, and 25% of your order gets donated to Helping Hands for Cruising. Couldn't be easier. Win-win all around. And Laura in here, thank you so much for coming here, and good morning to you. So, yeah, Ross definitely wins. He also wins with remembering the HH4C hashtag, because while it is important to me for you to subscribe to my channel from an ego perspective, and that's really all it is at this point. I'm trying to see if I can get to 200 subscribers by next Sunday, because next Sunday is when I level up officially. So, and please don't tell me 29, because I am so not 29. I am actually hitting level 59. So, and proud of it and happy with it. And at least I don't add levels anymore. I used to add levels to get more compliments. So anyway, and the other way you can put Nightbot to work is by dropping hashtag tribe. And that way Nightbot will thank you for coming in, and also drop your YouTube link so folks can find you and subscribe to you and find your content. So fantastic. And I say hi back to Donna. So great that she is here. Sir Coney. I love all the nicknames. Homework is due tomorrow. Oh my gosh, everything is due tomorrow. And Ross is flinging hashtags like ninja flings out. Great, great visual. I love it. And Sir Webster of the Woodlicker. Oh my goodness, you guys, with all of the nicknames and everything else, I can't even keep up with them all. It's hilarious. So I wanted to wish a bunch of people. I know that they're the throwing stars, Aaron. I just can't pronounce it correctly and don't want to. Shuriken. Shuriken is the name of the martial arts throwing stars. I probably mutilated that, but that's okay. I do want to wish everyone a happy June. It is, can't believe we're already at June here, and we have some rainy days ahead in Chicago, but that's okay. Sooner or later we'll get to a summer, maybe. And I want to wish everyone happy Pride, whether you celebrate or not. I want to do a reminder for everyone that Pride was not born out of a need to celebrate being gay, but out of the right to exist without persecution. That's what Pride Month is about. So instead of wondering why there isn't a straight Pride Month, be thankful you don't need one. Okay. So that's what Pride is about. And whether you celebrate or not, it is none of my business, but enjoy your June. Absolutely. Now, speaking of things that are none of my business, I read an article this week that came out from Come Cruise With Me. Okay. And it was about Carnival Cruise Line sharing some plans to start enforcing dress code, and kind of what people's responses were to that. And of course, people got, John Heald involved, the brand ambassador, and it turned into, a whole big thing. So dress codes are really, they said in the article, and I thought this was a perfect analogy. It is the same. It's the should Pete Rose be in the Hall of Fame question for cruise message boards. People never seem to get tired of discussing if dress codes should be enforced. Now, there seem to be basically three different camps that people fall into. Okay. So you've got the folks who say they don't care what anyone wears to the MDR, to specialty dining, to any of the restaurants. They really don't care, because it's like it doesn't affect them directly. They don't feel. So if somebody wears a hat in the main dining room, they really aren't going to stress about it. Now, the second group are the folks who they want the cruise lines to enforce the dress codes that are already in place. So I don't think that they're going overboard. They are, pardon the pun, but I think that they are saying, if the rule is no shorts in the dining room, or no jeans in a specialty dining restaurant, that type of thing, they just want the cruise line to enforce uh, those dress codes. So that's kind of the second group. Then there's the third group of people who want to play share and turn back time. And they want it to be back in the days when people would dress formal for dinner, where gentlemen would wear tuxes and ladies would wear full-length gowns and all of that. So that's kind of the third camp. So this article was, I thought, interesting, and it did a good job of kind of representing what the three groups really were. So again, it was on Come Cruise With Me. If that's a site that you're familiar with or you go to or whatever, they have a good content. So anyway, Laura, thank you. Well said. Thank you. I appreciate it. And Randy is here. Thank you for coming in, Randy. I appreciate you being here. Now, Ross says no dress code should not be enforced except for overly revealing and offensive messages. So again, here we go. This is one of those things where there are so many different opinions. Personally, I don't really care. I really don't. I don't get overly dressed up. I certainly don't wear a full-length gown on formal night. I will typically wear a dress on formal night. I do typically follow like kind of whatever the guidelines. I tend to view them as guidelines are for dress code, because I kind of feel like these guidelines are in place for a reason, and I understand that they don't want you running around in your bathing suit all over the ship. That, like, when you're on the pool deck, that's awesome. Go for it and wear your suit and be comfy and whatever. But I understand that they don't want people like coming in their bathing suit to the buffet, to the sit down restaurants, et cetera, et cetera. I get that. And again, but if somebody does it, I've never freaked out. I've never said anything to a crew member. I've never like made it my business somehow, because quite honestly, it doesn't impact my meal. It doesn't impact what I'm doing at all. So whatever. Backlash Fisherman is here. Thank you for coming in. Hello to you. So great to have you here. And Denise, hearts to you too. Hope everyone is well, and hope you are doing well too. Now, Laura says she feels like no one has formal attire, and that means extra clothes you have to pack. That is so true. And with the number of people who have to fly to their cruise destinations, and they have to worry about how much luggage they're bringing, the cost of checked bags, things like that, that's like an extra pair of shoes. That is, for me at least, that's going to be a gown, an extra pair of shoes, probably some kind of a purse that matches that and is too fancy for anything else, because the little like crossbody bag that I wear around the ship all day would not be cool for a formal night dress. That would just look weird to me. So, and knowing me, I would probably bring special jewelry too. So yeah, suddenly I'm bringing more stuff. And I'm perfectly comfortable like just putting on a dress and maybe dressing it up a little with some nicer jewelry or something small that I can pack. But I have stopped packing like individual shoes to go with a certain night or whatever. Just no. Ron saying good morning to Randy, and Randy saying good morning back. Okay. And Ross says, formal for me is Dickies and a linen or polo shirt. You know what? That is about as formal as I really care if the gentlemen get on the cruise, or, whoever wants to dress that way. When we were at the all-inclusive in Jamaica, there were 2 or 3 restaurants on site where they had a dress code for gentlemen, where they asked that you wore, like, khakis or slacks of some kind, not jeans, and a collared shirt. So, to Ross's point, some kind of a button down, like a linen or a polo shirt. Um, and that was it. Every place else was just totally and completely casual. So yeah, Ron is right. Ross does bring up an issue about defining what is revealing and offensive. Common sense really isn't common. I would say avoid anything political. That's because you know what? I don't want to fight politics when I'm on vacation. So I am not going to poke the bear and wear something either one way or another in support or against a political candidate or party. That's just something that I would never do. I would never do something that was religious or something that was offensive as far as like sexual, overly sexualized. I mean, I can actually draw the line. I know we like slide into the gutter here on the channel and on a pretty regular basis, but yeah, that really it is. And as far as what's revealing, that is a totally different subject. We could do a whole show on what different people consider to be revealing or too revealing or anything else. So, yep. Denise giving a shout out to Ron. And here we go. Let's see. No shirt, no shoes, no problem. Sung best by Kenny Chesney. Yes. Love it. See, and when it's all casual and everything else, like I said, don't care. Don't care. How about wear what you would be comfortable wearing to church? Randy, have you seen what some people will wear to their house of worship? I I got to agree with Ron that common sense is not that common. So, yeah, I agree that there was a time that a statement like that I would be like really comfortable with that, but I don't know if people understand that anymore. So, okay. Most cruises there are children and they shouldn't be exposed to that. What I always find, to be kind of a thing is I just don't need to see like, let me give you a perfect example. When we were at the all-inclusive we were at, it was an adults-only all-inclusive. And there were some people who opted for bathing suits that were definitely string bikini butt floss bathing suits. I mean, they were. Um, but it was all inclusive for adults only. There were no kids around. So I really didn't care and I really didn't have anything to say about that. But I kind of agree with Ross as far as like when I've got my grandkids with me, I don't always love when people are wearing what they would wear to an adults only all inclusive. So, and here's Nightbot chiming in, reminding you to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Again, just purely for my own ego, I am trying to see if I can get to 200 subscribers by next Sunday, which is my birthday, which is my level up day. And it's a goal. What the hell? So if you haven't ever shared me out, if you haven't shared the channel with somebody else, please consider doing so. The more, the merrier. So church for me is nice jeans and a polo. There you go. See, everybody is different, which again, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think that's, you're covered up, you're respectful. I don't see anything wrong with that. Yes, Denise, and the supporting undergarments. You know what? For when you're dressing formal, I totally get that. I will say though that I was just having this conversation with a friend yesterday. I have given up like all of the shapewear, the Spanx, the everything. And there is no way I am doing that on a vacation when I am supposed to be comfortable. And also, most vacations I go on are to warm weather climates. I am not squeezing myself into spandex and lycra when I am on vacation. Forget it. It's not happening. And yep. So Ron says he agrees. He's just playing devil's advocate. I get that. I totally do. And Billy with Bamanola is here. Morning to you. How are you? Everyone's saying hey and good morning. In agreement on the Kenny Chesney comment, which is true. Love that everybody is saying hey to each other. Fantastic. Denise, I am not wearing a corset. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Thank you. I found this background and absolutely fell in love with it. I actually used it on Facebook too as my profile background, my cover page, because I liked it so much. So thank you very much. I love everybody saying good morning to each other. And here we go. As a deacon, they allow us khaki shorts and give us t-shirts for serving so we aren't sweating like crazy. So again, I can't say wear what you would wear to your house of worship because that is so different for so many people. That just falls into so many different categories, depending on climate, depending on the denomination, depending on who is leading the congregation, all of those things. And let's be honest, nowadays, depending if you're attending your services via Zoom, are you wearing sweatpants? Are you wearing flannels or something and comfy because you're in your own home? So that's possible too. And Denise is helping out Ron. Here, have a girdle. I couldn't spell girdle. Is that why you went with corset? That's hilarious. And Tiffany with Canadian Family Life. Hey, good morning. How are you? So great that you are in this morning. There we go. It's Tiffers. LMAO. Hope you're well, Tiffers. Oh my goodness. Okay. That's hilarious. By the way, bless your heart is not a religious saying. That's true. That's bless your heart is not. That's a Southern thing. That has nothing to do with religion. And folks still shouting out to each other. Fantastic. Okay. Tiffany coming back with kiss it, Maddie. I love it. Too funny. Great. Thank you so much for shouting out to each other. Booty floss. You like that? It is booty floss. It totally is. It's yeah. You don't need to see someone of size in a budgie smuggler or a banana hammock. Yeah. Again, really, there's certain things that you would hope people would look in the mirror and go, wow, this is an incredibly small amount of material on my body. But a lot of people don't. So, and again, it doesn't affect my meal. So whatever. And Laura says, I don't want to see anyone in a budgie smuggler. Where did you put your blue duck? Donna wants to know. I have not actually given it an official home yet, because I don't know where I'd like it. I think it's gonna go in the downstairs in the display cabinet. So yeah, I should have brought it in to show it off. I will during the week for Level Up to show off. And Linda, thank you so much for coming in. Linda Toman Creates. Good morning to you. Okay, I go commando. Ross, so much information. Too much information. I've given up the shapewear and Spanx too, says Randy. I've never used Spanx. All of what you see is what you get fully clothed. Yeah, totally. I'm not squeezing into everything. So, New Horizons above and beyond. Hello, saying hey, and making Nightbot work for you by dropping Tribe. Welcome in, and there is their link, so you can go over and make sure that you subscribe and connect with folks. So I can't wear what I wear to church. I attend a friend's online service, and I'm usually in my jammies. See, that's my point, is that, my father has a congregation, and they do Zoom calls for people all over the world. So yeah, it's people are very comfy and not dressed for public appearance. Except, that being said, I saw some pictures of folks walking across the Lido deck in their jammies, robes, and slippers. And I'm not talking like swim robe cover up kind of thing. I'm talking like terry cloth bathrobe, pajamas, fuzzy slippers kind of thing. There were like a family of 3 just walking across the pool deck like that. And I was like, okay, there we go. Did you just wake up from a nap? I'm jealous because I am very tired right now, but that's okay. Randy, thank you so much for dropping the Tribe hashtag, and that way people can find you. There's there's a lot. And Scott, Captain Controversy, is doing all of his shout outs. There's a lot of cheeks on the Lido, just saying. Yeah, there are a lot. And you're clutching your pearls. My word. Too funny. Too funny. So hi,
everybody.
Chef Todd, the disembodied head. Thank you. Appreciate it. Linda's saying good morning to Scott and giving big waves. And Scott doing a great job as being my mod and reminding you to join us on Facebook. You get reminders over there, you get jokes, you get all kinds of information and stuff. So yeah, make sure you join us over there. You're just decided you're gonna wear a unitard on the rock and roll with a budgie smuggler over it. Oh, Ross, that is a visual. That is a visual. Not. Okay, thank you. Yes, Chef Todd's disembodied head. There he was, floating in there. He is too funny. He is too funny. So I had an idea for Tiffany's glad not going on that cruise. I have a feeling that if Ross did wear a unitard with a budgie smuggler over it, that there would be lots of photographic and video evidence of that, which is the danger of cruising with a bunch of people who are all on YouTube. I think that would be all over the place. So I don't know that you would be able to avoid seeing it. Quite honestly, I gotta tell you. Okay, so I have a new segment that I want to share with you. So let me pull this up. It is the Yiddish word of the week. Okay, so every week I'm going to bring you a new Yiddish word and get the definition. So let's talk a little bit about this first before I jump into the word. Okay. So, first of all, let's talk about what is Yiddish, because I don't want to make the assumption that everybody knows what Yiddish is just because I do. So, Yiddish is a language, okay, historically Judeo German, um, and it is historically spoken by Ashkenazi Jews. Now, I'll make that distinction in just a moment. It originated in the 9th century in Central Europe and provided Ashkenazi community with a vernacular based on High German, fused with many elements taken from Hebrew and, to some extent, Aramaic. So it's a very interesting language. And it is traditionally written using the Hebrew alphabet. So that's what Yiddish means. Now, I said that it is predominantly spoken by Ashkenazi Jews. Well, if you didn't know, just like with any other type of segment of our population, there are subgroups within that. And the Ashkenazi Jews, or the Ashkenazim, are the people that emerged in the Holy Roman Empire around the end of the first millennium. Okay. Again, they traditionally speak Yiddish, and they largely migrated towards Northern and Eastern Europe during the late Middle Ages due to persecution. Okay. So Ashkenazi Jews are typically based from Europe, is their background. There is another type of Jews that are the Sephardic Jews that actually come from Spain and Portugal. So they typically do not speak Yiddish. So this is something more typically with the Ashkenazi Jews. So anyway, so that's a little background on what does Yiddish mean, who speaks it, and who doesn't speak it. And if you don't know already, a lot of people miscalculate how many percentage-wise, what percentage of the world population is Jewish. So I am interested to know what you think. So do me a favor and drop in the chat what percentage you believe the world population, what percentage of the world population is Jewish. And I'm going to reveal the Yiddish word of the week. The Yiddish word of the week is nash. Nash means to snack. Okay? So you can use it as a verb or as a noun. Okay? So a nosh is either you can say, I'd like to go for a nosh, or I'm going to have a nosh, or I'm going to nosh on this bread, or I'm going to nosh on this bagel. So it can be used a number of different ways. So here we go. Let's see what everybody is saying here. So you might continue the pole dancing tradition on the Rock and Roll Tribute Cruise. Holy cow. I am going to have to not only make sure that my phone is charged, but I am going to have to bring my GoPro on this trip, because I am thinking that there is going to be so much fun material to film that it should be fantastic. And yes, new segment time. I need to come up with a song for the Yiddish word of the week, but yeah, there we go. Okay, so, oh my God, yes, here we go. Here we go. And nice one. Oy vey. That's definitely in there. So here we go.
Mine, zezinke. It's my little sweetie in Yiddish.
Oh, thank you, sweetie. The disembodied head speaks Yiddish too. Okay, so your favorite Yiddish word is mashuga. Okay, we'll get to that, definitely. Your favorite Yiddish word is kugel. No, that's my favorite dish. But you can nosh on it, so it still works. There we go. Okay, let's go ahead and let's see who is correct with their guess of what the world population is. So Linda says 35%, Laura says 30, 8% says Denise, 15% says Aaron, Tiffany says 5%, Scrow's Nest says 0.2%, and Captain Controversy says 33%. It is actually 2%. So most people guess way over the number and assume that there are far more Jews in the world than there actually are. We make up a very small segment of the population. So anyway, so Yiddish word of the week, nash. So make sure that you use it in a sentence this week. So you go ahead and you can, expand your Yiddish vocabulary. And I would go ahead, here we go. Come around and listen, take a peek. It's the Yiddish word of the week. It's fun, it's wise, it's a little old world prize. Come learn the Yiddish word of the week. Holy cow, Ross is writing lyrics for me. You are the best, my friend. This is fantastic. This is fantastic. I love this. I am so taking this, and we are going to come up with a song for the Yiddish word of the week. That is fantastic. There's a metal band from Sweden called Meshuggah. I love it. I love it. Very heavy, too. Cool. Okay. Captain Controversy wants to know if Ross held up his orange cone to say the words through. So there we go. So yay, what did I win? Knowledge. Just the knowledge that you are smarter. So Chaser. I love it. Okay, fantastic. So that is something that we're going to do each week. One of the other things that I wanted to bring up is the fact that there is a lot of Yiddish in pop culture. So this week's segment was going to be about pop culture, and I kind of got off on a bunch of different tangents. But so to nosh is either to snack or a snack. It can either be used as a verb or as a noun. So nosh, I'm going to have a nosh. I'm going to nosh. To nosh, I had a nosh. Now I'm getting hungry with talking about all this noshing. So fantastic. Thank you so much. Oh, fabulous. Najuma Brown is here. Thank you so much for coming in. And Tiffany, thank you for coming in. I get that you need to get ready for your live, like coffee, priorities. Absolutely. That is fantastic. You want a nosh? There we go. That is a perfect way to use it. So yes, thank you so much for all of you for coming in. I really do appreciate it today. So let's talk a little bit about where you may have heard Yiddish words in pop culture. There we go. Another sentence. Let me get you a nosh. Absolutely. And Floaty Bodie. Hey, y'all. Hey, how are you? So glad that you made it in. So I would say that a lot of times on certain shows like Seinfeld had Yiddish in them all the time. They would be going to the deli and they would be talking about different foods and they would be talking about uh, different traditions and things like that. You can hear a lot of Yiddish or perhaps bastardized Yiddish in a lot of Hollywood products from the 30s and 50s, both in live action and animated features. You absolutely do. You absolutely do, because of who was producing the Hollywood product back in the day. And that it was definitely a predominantly Jewish industry, so that fed into it directly. It's always funny when, like, Eddie on his show says oy vey all the time. I hear friends of mine say oy vey all the time. That's Yiddish. That's so people use Yiddish and sometimes don't even realize it. And a lot of the cast members as well, for sure. It was very, very heavily in the industry. And if you've watched any of the specials that they did called, shoot, what was that series called? Was it Making the Movies or The Movies? And then they would just pick a was it called The Movies? Yeah, it was a TV show that ran for one season on CNN. That's what I'm thinking of. It's a mini series. And they talked a lot about what happened in different ages of Hollywood. And in one of their episodes, The Golden Age, they talked a lot about that, Aaron. So super interesting. So here we go. Part of my results from 23andMe informed me that I am 0.5% Ashkenazi Jewish. I guess that makes me Jewish. Well, it's interesting because if you go strictly by Jewish faith and Jewish religion, it goes by the person's mother, by the mother's lineage. If your mother is Jewish, you are Jewish. So that's how it goes. Now, that obviously doesn't count people who convert and who become Jewish, but yes. So, and I just have to tell you that I came up with the Yiddish word of the week myself and not with the help of my rabbi father. So this was not something that he actually had a hand in. But as I run out of Yiddish words to define, you can bet that I will be using him as a resource, as also my mother-in-law, who speaks it fluently. So absolutely. And I hope that it was interesting. I hope that you guys did learn something and that you did get something out of it, because it is interesting to learn new words and to learn new ways of using them. So that makes me a Polynesian Inuit German Jew. That is an interesting combination. Have you ever had your genealogy done? Have you done like a 23andMe, like Randy was saying? Because that is an interesting combination you have, Ross. Mine is very much just very traditional Ashkenazi. So Czech, Russian, German, absolutely. So, okay. So yes, so you have had the DNA done. Very cool. Very cool. I love that. Now, I also wanted to talk to you guys about something that is coming up that you may have forgotten about, you may not know about. So I am going to play something and talk about the Rock and Roll Tribute Cruise, because if you want to see Ross in a unitard and a bungee smuggler, I love that. You got to show up.
Journey is the ultimate tribute to Foreigner and Journey.
You're as cold as ice.
Bringing you back to all the eras of both Foreigner and Journey's careers. Rocking the biggest hits and fan favorites with a high-energy authenticity of two of the world's most iconic bands. Foreign Journey, one of the most popular tribute acts, rock with an incredible high-energy stage show all night long. A show not to be missed.
How fun does that look? How amazing does that look? That cruise is in less than 200 days. It is the week after Thanksgiving, and it is going to be a blast. Virtually all of the board members from Helping Hands for Cruising are going to be there, including the Down Under cruisers, Sean and Alana, all the way from Australia. So it's an opportunity to meet folks that you probably will not have an opportunity to meet in other areas. So this is a real treat. You should definitely reach out, tributebandcruise.com, and find out more. Now let's jump back in for just a moment because Ross said something very interesting. His mom was a Polynesian Inuit and was adopted into a German Jewish family, which is fascinating. Dad was a British Romanian. Okay, Romanian. I'm awake. Romanian. Holy crap. And my dad's mother was Romanian, and our family tree goes back to biblical times. My grandmother was a direct descendant of Moses. Wow. That's an amazing, amazing background. So, and Denise says 97% Irish. Imagine that. That is funny. Nobody would have ever guessed, except for all of us. But, that's just... You do make it kind of easy with the hair, I gotta be honest. So here we go. Linda says her father's side was Hungarian and Bohemian, not sure of mom's side. That is really cool. So I think I'm Asian. What was your clue, Scott? That's hilarious. But what was your first clue, sweetie? That you might be Asian. So yeah. Well, right now we have 12 in the house, and I hope that you have already hit the thumbs up for me. It feeds the YouTube algorithm and keeps it happy, and also keeps my material being shared out with other people, which I certainly appreciate. He is the Asian persuasion. I love it. Too funny. So what else what do you guys have going on today with the last few minutes that we are together? I have a friend coming over, and we are actually going to go for a walk because we have decent weather in Chicago. It might not be super warm, but for Chicago, it's nearly 70, which is like great for us. I mean, it's kind of sad that it's June 1st and it's still just there, but there we go. So you might need to snip a few seconds. Oh, yeah. Oh, I might need to snip a couple seconds out of that promo video. I have a teeny snippet of Echoes of Pompeii, the Pink Floyd tribute band that had to bow out. Okay, thank you. Thank you for letting me know. And I will do a different I will do a different promo next time. I appreciate that. So Scott says, oh, wait, I just checked and I'm full of shit. I'm actually German and English and Irish by adoption. I love it. And Linda is making a card live and then going to get a nosh and a nap. Hooray! Nosh and a nap. Perfect. And I love the alliteration of the two N's. That is fantastic. I will have to check you out making the card. You are going to see your son, says Denise. Fantastic. And Scotty, can you clip that out for me? Okay, so Ross is asking, can you clip that out? I appreciate you bringing that to my attention, Aaron. I did not catch that. And that is the longer promo. I've been posting like the shorter promo, the little 40-second one a lot lately, and haven't been playing like the big long 3-minute one. So thank you for bringing that to my attention. I appreciate it. Because it is going to be Who's Who and Foreign Journey are the tribute bands who are going to be joining us, which is super exciting. And on this cruise, 2 recipients, 2 Helping Hands for Cruising recipients. Absolutely fantastic. I love that idea. I'm so excited to cruise with all of the folks who are going to be cruising, because I get to work with people through Helping Hands for Cruising, but it's all remote. And to finally get an opportunity to meet these people in person and to sail with recipients, and it's a rock and roll tribute cruise. It's like, it just keeps getting better and better and better. So fantastic. Thank you so much. Yes, it's on your tab. Okay. Oh, yeah. Put it on tab. Okay. You are welcome from Aaron. Thank you. I appreciate that. Am I going on the rock and roll? I am definitely going on the rock and roll. Absolutely. Absolutely. 100%. Flying in the day after Thanksgiving. We are actually doing a meetup that afternoon on, I believe it is the 28th of November. And that is really could be very cool. What about you, Captain Controversy? Are you going to be on the rock and roll tribute cruise? So yes, thank you to Double A. Aaron. Which is still one of my favorite funny bits. So, okay. Your father and you will be in attendance. Oh, that's so exciting. That's fabulous. That is fantastic. Okay. I am definitely on board. If I wasn't before, now I would be. So only some of you will get to meet him. Okay. Your real father. Okay. Very cool. It is going to be very cool. I don't know if I am going to be sailing solo or not on this cruise. It hasn't been finalized yet, but if you have not already checked it out, it's a great price. It is yeah, you mean the ones on R&R. Got it. Okay, finally caught that Key and Peele thing with the teacher. Oh, you hadn't seen it before, Aaron? Oh my gosh. Yes. Yes. And my sister's name is Jacqueline. So when he says Jacqueline, I have been able to call my sister Jacqueline since then. So yeah, absolutely. One of the funniest bits like ever. Absolutely hilarious. If you haven't checked out Rock and Roll Tribute Cruise yet, check it out. It is going to be so much fun. Norwegian is a great line to sail with if you haven't gone on them before. I have gotten already an opportunity to sail on the Breakaway. And now this one is going to be a new ship for me, but Norwegian does a great job. And they are being super accommodating and super helpful with us for getting all of our Helping Hands for Cruising activities planned. There's going to be so much to do on board. There's going to be a scavenger hunt. There's going to be a hunt for cruising ducks that are special HH4C cruising ducks. There are going to be bar crawls. There's going to be just all kinds of fun activities. And the beauty of it is your vacation. So if you want to participate in all of the festivities and all of the craziness, you are more than welcome, and you are included and invited. If you want to kick back and you just want to participate in one or two things, that's totally cool too. It's your vacation. Have fun and have a great time with it. So absolutely. This is, oh my goodness. So Scott says, thought I might have to keep him away from Ross. They might become best friends. He can't be flying to Chicago. And after all these years, you finally caught the Aaron bit. That is so funny. Balake, yes. Denise, yes, absolutely. You are too funny. Oh, and then yes, Venice. That school system budget black hole is clipboard. He keeps breaking them. Yes. You know the bit. It is a funny one. It is a really funny one. I used to love Key and Peele. I thought that was a very funny show. So that's a really good one. So definitely, if you haven't caught it before and you've got a good sense of humor, go for it, because it's great sketch comedy. Absolutely tremendous. So we are getting ready to wind down here. I appreciate all of you coming in so much. And again, happy June. Welcome to it. Next week on Brunch and BS will be, I don't know what we'll be doing. We'll be doing something different or something interesting because it is my birthday. It is the day that I level up. So again, remember that I would love to be at 200 subscribers for my birthday. I'm about 20 subscribers away. So I know it's a big ask, but if you haven't already been promoting and sharing out the channel, now would be a great time, and I would really appreciate your assistance. So go Nosh. Absolutely. And with that being said, moist. And yes, next Sunday is my B-Day. It is. So fantastic. Celebration, brunch, and BS. We might have to do that. Thank you so much, Najuma, for wishing everybody a happy day. I hope you all have a great day, and brunch and BS with a level up sneaking in. Absolutely. Have a wonderful day, everyone. Enjoy your Sunday, and talk to you all soon. Take care. Bye.